finally got something really cool for the garage, something that's been a long time coming, and something I've just frankly been putting off just because of the cost, the time, the space, just sort of being unsure of whether it makes sense to buy a kind of relatively big piece of furniture. I like to keep as little things as possible. Obviously I have a lot of, detailing stuff, but it's only stuff that I think is essential for my arsenal of detailing supplies. So anyways, a while back I got this detailing cart, which you can see right there, which I do love. I actually got it, it's a metal cart. I'll try to put a link in the description. It's from ECS Tuning, believe it or not. But anyways, the exciting part of today is if you're a geek, if you're a nerd, if you're whatever, a car detailing buff, you always have the struggle of putting stuff away in the most optimal space. And what I was doing before, just as a backstory, is this yellow bin, I had 2 of them. So I'd have it stacked up, and then I would have to open it and dig through it, and as you can see, there's not a ton of room back here. So every time I went to go grab a towel, which I wanted to put away, I didn't want any dust or dirt to get on it or anything, I would have to be very careful. I'd have to reach my hand in it, and if there's anything on top, which right now there's oil for an oil change, there's a toolbox, there's another little toolbox. I mean, there's stuff on top of it just because I don't have the space. It's just sort of my situation right now. So anyways, let's get to this cabinet, which is, let me give you the dimensions if you're wondering. It's 72 inches tall, 36 inches wide, and 18 inches deep. So, and as you can see, my car is within a few inches of the front of the garage. You can walk back here, there's plenty of room, and it's definitely not too deep. I'll give you a side view really quick. So next to the detailing cart, it's pretty much, almost the same depth there. So anyways, it is a metal cabinet. It's made in the USA, 2 doors, and I'm going to show you, I showed you guys a little time lapse of everything. It does have a, door to the lock, and that's it. And the doors stay open. I will probably do a separate video of sort of a tour of my detailing supplies, just if you guys want to sit through it. This is almost everything. I have some extra microfibers inside, I think, and a few pads that are drying from my last detail job on the Jeep. And I sort of have it organized, obviously microfiber. This is all car stuff that I use, but not as frequently as I use here. So a lot of this stuff can be sort of countermingled here, but I use the rubber cleaner all the time. I use the reload kind of frequently, all that kind of stuff. I guess this like insect remover can easily go in here because I really don't have that issue. And then here's interior stuff on this side, the Lexol right there, obviously the clay bar. So this is just stuff that I want to be able to have in reach. If I need to use clean slate or I need to grab some Terminator, I can just reach it, where before it was at the bottom of the bin and it was a huge pain. And that's the same goes with this. This is sort of, a lot of this stuff is for the Jeep, undercoating, WD-40, all the manly stuff. It's kind of funny, there's liquid wrench, there's spray, there's spray paint, mass airflow sensor. I mean, obviously you guys don't need to have me tell you about everything, but all the Jeep crap is like manly, rugged, like shop stuff, and then all the other stuff is really like super nice and clean. It's just kind of funny. And then I have my polishers. This isn't really permanent, but I just kind of want to get everything kind of organized by type of thing. Obviously the detailing buckets fit really well in here. I can slide it in and out, no problem. And I do have a little vacuum, which I'm going to put up on top. It's just a little portable one. I'll go through video there. And then, the doors are fine. You just have to close them like this and then just turn that and it stays together. So that's my cabinet. I would highly recommend it. Unfortunately for you guys, I don't really have like a link to it. So the story is I was on I actually, just randomly, I would go on this app called OfferUp, and it's sort of like Craigslist, but it's sort of just by location. You can send direct messages to people, and it's way more organized and more reliable in my experience. I've sold a few things on it, and I bought a few things on it, and this was one of them. So anyways, you randomly look, you know, cabinets, and it's usually a pain because no one really cares. I was fine spending 20 bucks. I ended up spending 120 on that, and you guys can sort of put that in your mind if you think that's a lot or a little, but I looked up comparable cabinets for this, and they're $200 to like $600. And I'm not talking about like the high end, like, you know, the snap-on cabinets. I mean, this is nothing, this is absolutely nothing like that. I'll put it in the description below, but I kind of wanted metal over plastic because it holds up things longer. You know, it does flex a little bit, but I'm kind of putting a lot of weight, and even if you press in the center, I don't know if you guys can tell, but it does flex. And this stuff really isn't heavy, but in the past, I remember I had a plastic cabinet in my parents' garage, and even just like having sprays like this, it would start to sag, and I didn't want that. I wanted this to last at least a few years. And it's actually super light. It came assembled. Man, I wish I would have took a picture. It slid all the way in the Jeep perfectly. It was like meant to be. So it was awesome. It was only a couple miles away. But anyways, I think these guys got it from overstock or an auction, just overstock from companies, like bigger companies that they don't want it, so they buy it at an auction or whatever. That's why it was so cheap. He had it listed for 140. I said, hey, I'll buy for 120 today. And he's like, sure. So I felt kind of weird. He just agreed to it right away, but it was all wrapped up. There's cardboard. It was fully assembled. So it was like just pushing it in here was super easy, and the M3 was out of the way, so it was great. Man, I feel so good. I feel so organized. It actually wasn't that bad. I thought I was gonna take like 5 hours to do everything, but it's only one cabinet and I only have so much stuff. So I'm really excited. I know it's like super lame to do a video on a cabinet, but it's kind of a big deal for me. You know, there's nothing else in this garage that anyone has. It's only me with my crazy stuff over here. But now I'm consolidated and I'm focused on the important stuff. Guys, let me know. I don't know even if the shelves are movable. This is a good question. I want to say no. No, so that's a downfall. But I will tell you, as I was putting the stuff in here, I was kind of thinking, should I move them? And I just kind of put them all the stuff in as it was. And I never really thought twice about it. You know, like, I don't really need the bottom shelf to be higher. Like, the stuff I want to put in there fits in there fine. And then same thing with every other shelf. So they are spaced out. I mean, I could squish it and maybe try to add another one, but that doesn't really seem necessary for me. And when I get to that stage, I'll be willing to spend a few $100 instead of just 120 bucks. So anyways, welcome to my life, welcome to my cabinet, welcome to crazy, weird detailing stuff. Yeah, so I put it together, put all the stuff in, that's it. I guess the least I can do is put a few links in the description of similar ones. I think Walmart actually had one that was like 170, which might be this exact one. I don't know, it looks almost identical. So that it actually could be a cabinet from Walmart, which I don't really care, but it was cheaper. It was only 120 bucks. And I just picked it up. So the whole process was super easy. And yeah, so I'll put that in the description, and stay tuned for another video on all my stuff. I'm gonna go in a whole in-depth tour of sort of why I have what I have and how much I use it, and sort of just rambling on and on about what I have. So stay tuned for that. If you're interested, subscribe, comment below, tell me what you think. It's really big for me, like I said, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.